It has happened to me repeatedly that a profile hears or sees my content on communication channels or in my books available physically in recognized spaces or on recognized platforms, and consequently takes the initiative to contact me, regardless of whether it is an institution, a corporate guild, a philanthropist, or an ordinary person, which allows me as a person, in mergers and owner of the SDF HmolikC system to answer the following question: Mr. Holmes Malik Candelo, congratulations. In response to the understanding of its contents, the decision has been made to contribute financially, so that the process of your project can move forward. The perception of the intelligence captures and the will reacts by solving for good or for evil. Technology always suggests embracing change to avoid becoming obsolete. Currently, the invitation comes from the SDF HmolikC brand system. The definitive achievements, new knowledge that I have acquired, with functionality and utility, originated from the discovery of the pathology of genetic information transmission with its genetic source code. Specific operational capabilities, which allow the design of encoding and decoding templates for orthochromatic or panchromatic information incorporated as an operational component in the SDF HmolikC system, which constitutes a consultation tool. Then there is an understanding of a knowledge landscape that is made up of a large number of new components such as reference sources and subjects, each of which, as new innovative knowledge, requires the development model to be registered, accepted, and patented. With sufficient clarity, if the SDF HmolikC system tool is an application with many components, each one must be patented. The purpose of the SDF HmolikC system is to receive the information it requires as a query, and among them, to give an example to facilitate understanding, is that the SDF HmolikC system is consulted on various topics of critical health conditions in the same day, and as a result of the queries the SDF HmolikC system delivers 20 answers each with its own distinct molecular structural architecture, which indicates that for the development model, these 20 drugs have to be patented. What is procedurally feasible for the SDF HmolikC brand is that all queries that have an answer, being a drug originating from the SDF HmolikC system, will be processed accordingly. Automatically acquire the patent from the competent authorities. It is the state of the process in which it is providing supporting documented information that allows scheduling the face-to-face appointment with the competent international entity to present, evidently, support the functionality and usefulness of the reason for being of the new knowledge contained in the definitive achievements discovered. The outcome of this event, with my in-person attendance and participation, allows qualified professionals to conduct the necessary evaluation and, consequently, certify and approve all new components of the SDF HmolikC brand system and the results of consultations, including medications. At this stage of the process, I categorically declare that I do not accept monetary donations. It is important to note that there are several priority issues requiring immediate consultation, including Priority 1, critical clinical cases. Priority 2, the development of microdevices for the SDF HmolikC system. USB devices or other devices compatible with all forms of digital communication. Priority 3, a universal civil identification number to prevent identity theft and forgery. Priority 4, the most effective option for reducing international debt between countries. To activate these priority topics, a space equipped with all the components of a biochemical laboratory infrastructure is required, not for experimentation, as precise calculations are performed and approximations are unacceptable, but for accurately preparing the results generated by the SDF HmolikC system. This system provides, among other reference topics, molecular structural architecture. It is also necessary to manufacture, in other words, produce in industrial quantities, the SDF HmolikC system's information microdeveloper on USB drives if a transition agreement is reached between the interested parties. Alternatively, the SDF HmolikC system's microdeveloper can be manufactured directly in industrial quantities. New devices will be required for all forms of computerized communication, rendering existing ones obsolete. The participation of competent personnel is required for all tasks. These spaces can be used to implement the Universal Civil Identification Number, which prevents identity theft or falsification. The preparation of medications requires the participation of competent personnel in all tasks. Priority 4, the most effective option for reducing external or international debt between countries. The application is ready for implementation. What I do accept from generous philanthropic gestures is that those who wish to contribute to progress in health should acquire or rent a space, equip it with the necessary resources, and finance the entire process until I, HmolikC, deliver the exact, concrete result of the consultation on the chosen health topic. As a complimentary contribution, I, HmolikC, researcher and owner of the SDF HmolikC system, in response to my non-profit participation, affirm that the complete implementation will always belong to the generous philanthropist. All that belongs to me is the demonstration, the functionality, and the usefulness of the proven final result. I will be immensely grateful to the philanthropist for being part of the resources that contribute to the advancement of this humanitarian project, until its socialization and free distribution to all. HmolikC only delivers the results, which are the reason for my involvement. Likewise, during the manufacturing process, or in other words, the development of the SDF HmolikC, USB, system microdeveloper, if a transition agreement is reached between the interested parties, I, HmolikC, will not receive any remuneration at any stage of the contractually linked process. HmolikC will only benefit after the first industrial quantity is produced and physically available for purchase. In previous contractual agreements, the philanthropist could receive a share of the sales profits. Alternatively, the other option is to manufacture the HmolikC SDF system information microdeveloper in industrial quantities. New devices will be produced for use with all forms of computerized communication, rendering existing devices obsolete because they are incompatible with the new technical advancements of the HmolikC SDF system.